Listen up, Terrence. In life, change is a common factor. And throughout fantasy history, let's be honest, you've been a bottom feeder. But I will give you credit. You didn't cry about rules or rip off trades. You took the harsh criticism, but way, way, way harsher than what we ever do now. I mean, back then, I was rapping, doing freestyles, roasting the entire league. It was a much different time, But as you get older, you mature, and you realize it's not that serious, especially for once you've won multiple. But to give you your credit, you've adapted and you've gathered information. Year after year, you fought and you lost over and over and over. You get the point, Charlie Batch. But finally, the Pantheon is born, and this is your chance to rewrite history, a chance to change the status quo. Now, here we are, Lobos, undefeated, 6 games into the season. So you want me to acknowledge you, to recognize your accomplishment. Okay, Terrence, fine. Congrats. You won 6 games and you still have 0 championships. This is losership. Stop patting yourself on the back. The season is long and you have a lot to prove. You've never finished strong and you have always fumbled. I'll recognize you when you win, but the problem is you won a trophy and you haven't actually done what needs to be done. Why would I celebrate you winning regular season games? That's loser shit. Now, you're not getting anything else from me, but what I will give you is some advice. So listen up.
Listen up, you're not here to just fit in or settle for good enough. You're here to fucking dominate. Competing? That's for those desperate kids who grind away, hoping for a pat on the back. The ones who cram the night before, trying to squeeze by with a half-assed effort. You know the type, sweating over every test, posting their participation trophies like they've made it. But let me tell you something, competing is weak. You're playing by their rules, stuck in the same game as those who barely try, giving them a chance. And honestly, that's pathetic. Why? Because when you're competing, you're fighting for scraps. You're letting them think they have a shot. But dominating? That's a whole different fucking game. You're not out here to win by a little. You're here to blow everyone out of the water. You're here to be so far ahead that there's no competition, no final round. The game ends before they even know what's happening. That's the fucking difference. Dominating means mastery, over your mind, over your body, over everything. While they're just trying to make it through another day, you're 10 steps ahead, pulling the strings, setting the stage. They're over there, clueless, grinding away, and you already know how it's gonna play out. You don't show up to follow their rules, you make the rules. They're running in circles, thinking they've got a shot, but they never will. They'll say, compete, work hard, play fair, but they need you to compete because it keeps their sorry asses in the game. If you dominate, there's no game left for them to play. When you dominate, you take away their options. You don't just beat them, you leave them so far behind they're still trying to figure out how the hell they lost. They'll sit there scratching their heads trying to catch up, but they won't even see your dust. And here's the real truth. Anyone can win. Winning is basic. It's what people do when they're satisfied with a little pat on the back. But winning, that's just the beginning if you're here to dominate. If you think just winning is enough, you're giving those clowns the illusion that they still matter. But domination? That's a whole new level. You don't just win. You make sure there's no chance of anyone else even stepping on your level. When you dominate, your name isn't just on a list. It's a legend. Not because you tried harder, but because you took control of every outcome before they even knew they were in the game. Domination is a mentality, not just effort. It's about knowing more, seeing more, and understanding the game so deep that they can't even comprehend it. You don't waste time fighting in their arena. You build your own. While they're tripping over themselves, caught up in the chaos, you're untouchable. Every move you make leaves them wondering just how far ahead you are. Every little win they think they've got, you engineered it. You made sure it happened exactly as you planned. Domination isn't about likes or recognition. It's about impact. It's about leaving a mark so deep that even when they forget your face, they can't ignore your legacy. So dominate. Make it undeniable. Make them understand that every step they took was one you set for them. Make them realize that the game was never in their hands. That's how you make sure your name lives on like a true fucking legend.
Now, you know what's funny? As I'm putting this video together, I realize This exact subject came up last season, and I made a video in response to no, it wasn't last season. It was the season before that. So it was, I guess it's going on like what, 2 years since then, and it's just so funny that I'm addressing the same points that I made in that exact same video, and here we are doing the same thing, and Terrence still is responding the same way. He has no championship, but wants credit, and he's won nothing. It's amazing, and I realize I also put a video at the end of that to give you advice, and you still didn't listen. What's the difference between a king and a horse? Bro, you got to start paying attention, bro. This is crazy. Get this part up first. And then for those interested, at the end, I have some anime shit, the cell fight for the people that are not aware of the cell fight and like what that means. Like what happened? Like what we keep saying like he's live action role playing a cell. What that means. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the video. And then um basically I'm gonna have a little quote there with kind of discussing the difference between a king and a horse because I think this will be very important. Perhaps it could help Terrence realize that because he talks very bold. He talks as if he's won before. So hopefully this will kind of humble him and he'll realize like maybe I should stop talking and I should start listening. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoy. Hit that like, comment, all that good shit. All right, bye.
What's the difference between a king and his horse? What the hell are you saying? And I'm not talking about obvious stuff, like one's an animal and one's a person, or one has 2 legs and one has 4. Form, ability, and power. That's what's puzzling. If their form, ability, and power are exactly the same, why is it that one becomes the king and leads them into battle, while the other becomes the horse and carries the king? So what's the characteristic that distinguishes these 2 beings? There's only one answer. Instinct! In order for identical beings to get stronger and gain power, they need to develop a killer instinct. And that instinct is mostly forged in battle. They must develop an insatiable hunger to engage in battle. They must live to mercilessly crush, shred, and slice their enemies. This thirst for power is not an unnatural desire. In fact, it forms the very essence of our being. Deep within our body lies the honed instinct to dominate and slaughter our enemies! My friend, you don't have that!
All right, man. There you have it, Terrence. You probably ain't gonna listen to anything I said, and you're gonna continue to, provide content and, you know, ask for acknowledgement. But if you want acknowledgement, take it. Like, it's that simple. All you gotta do is win. Keep winning. Shouldn't be a problem, right?